Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Lin versus Chaemiko. This game taking place here on Twisted Meadows 1.1. Gonna go ahead and speed things up to that 2-minute mark. Lin spawning as the blue orc on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Chaemiko spawning as the yellow human on the bottom left. Archmage going up against, I believe it is going to be a Farseer as the game is already underway. Both sides already doing a bit of creeping and clearing as the Archmage here looks to clear out this Forest Troll High Priest Rock Golem creep camp. Farseer also moving out relatively quickly as well, taking a purge onto that Grunt, taking down this 3-3-1 creep camp. All right, so that's actually a little bit less than the original. The original Twisted Meadows had a 5-3 creep camp right there. It's now been changed to a true green creep camp as opposed to a lower end orange creep camp there. All right, gonna go ahead and finish things off here. Peasants are gonna get, well, in the final blows perhaps as the Archmage picks up a belt of giant strength. Useful if you want additional hit points or trying to survive the oncoming damage barrage of spells from the undead. But in this matchup here, perhaps that will be given to the Mountain King or Paladin later on. All right, Water Elemental going to get dropped in here, trying to put in a little bit of pressure. There is no purge available, and who's going to get in that last shot? Archmage gets the last shot right there, takes it down. I believe the Farseer picks up the Mantle of Intelligence, though, as we see a surround onto the Grunt. Grunt going to take quite a bit of damage here. We're going to take a look. Perhaps one footman going to get taken down, one or two more blows. There it gets taken down as this footman trying to retreat back, but actually runs into the Farseer there, giving level 2 to the Farseer. How many casts have you got for us today? I think I only got one, but supposedly it is a doozy of a game. I may have the time to cast another game, but perhaps not on the line. Anyways, Archmage is sitting at level 2, nearly at level 3. Footman looking to retreat back as text to tier 2 now being started or has been started by both sides. A quick militia clear of this 3 or what is this? This is a 5-3 creep camp. All right, so there is an additional green creep camp off to the side here. The 5-3-1 creep camp has actually been moved. So the further green creep camp, the orange creep camp, or what was the 5-3-3, was demoted to a 5-3-1. The positioning on those creep camps also changed just a little bit, as well as the Archmage should be sitting at level 3 now with those level 2 water elementals able to put down quite a bit of pressure. Headhunter now trying to retreat back, and Orc Burrow, well, launching a couple of those javelin and spears as the footmen may try and engage and, well, perhaps shut down that Voodoo Lounge. Voodoo Lounge shut down, a very big deal, as without healing salves or clarity potions, well, that Farseer cannot recharge easily at all. Orc Burrow about to be taken down here, currently being massively repaired. Water Elemental getting, well, into just a puddle of nothing. Chain Lightning coming back around, but the Farseer's Chain Lightning just a little bit late. Too much damage done by that Water Elemental there. However, the Headhunters are hunting for heads of those footmen, as the footmen now looking to retreat back. 29 supply compared to 28. We should get a little bit of reprieve and break in the action now. I believe the Archmage still has an item to pick up off alongside here. Yeah, there's also a little tiny Null Brute that could get taken down as the units are looking to, well, just fall back here. Spirit Wolves could easily be cleaned up. Archmage getting in a little bit of damage on those units as the footmen. Are they going to try and clear out a green creep camp? No, they're not. They're just running around in every which direction. Meanwhile, the Farseer is, well, going to get to level 3 off of this Null Overseer here. A couple of Headhunters. Archmage trying to, well, maximize some damage, get some damage onto that Farseer, who's now up to level 3. Farseer going to try and do a quick run by here, a quick surround also onto the Water Elemental. Water Elemental will get cleaned up easily as the Voodoo Lounge is now, well, open for those potions of healing. All right, exchanging blows, both sides exchanging blows. Their Bestiary now, no, excuse me, Spirit Lodge getting in a little bit of pressure as the Archmage is still trying to delay these tactics once more. Footman now with Defend, able to reflect back some of that damage as well, as we are going into old school WarCraft 3 with a Beastmaster push at tier 2. This is an old school strategy coming across from Chaemiko, being able to place down a pressure with the Beastmasters, Quill Beast, and also the Archmage's Water Elemental. normally the time you could also call in for a couple of militia to do a bit of towering as well, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Also, it is a different hero or different unit of choice. It is a bear over those other units, a bear over well, the Quill Beast. All right, one Headhunter quickly getting taken down. That bear is trying to dive on in as units are trying to rack up a little bit of damage here. Footman trying to chase after another Headhunter there. There could be another dead Headhunter. No, that Headhunter down to 2 hit points, finally going to get taken down as the Beastmaster with one bear and one water elemental looking to continue to put pressure onto that Spirit Lodge, perhaps take it down before Shamans with Purge can be trained. Back down to the south side here, Archmage with those bonus hit points, able to regenerate quite a bit more. Footman, no, not Footman, Water Elemental getting stunned there as the Archmage wants to rack up more damage and shut down the Bestiary as well. Any bit of delay will definitely help, but once that Bestiary has that fortified armor upon completion, it is much more difficult for the duo to try and take it down. Beastmaster, Archmage looking to retreat back. We are getting up a second Arcane Sanctum. Priest now getting trained up as well. And we should be getting well underway. But Chaemiko really pressing hard and along with this Archmage Beastmaster 1-2 combination. He really wants to make sure that this Spirit Lodge continually gets delayed, and that's all he's really banking on right now. The constant loss of time as we are now transitioning into Wind Riders. All right, with the Beastmaster going for Bears over Quill Beast, the Wind Riders, well, Wind Riders and their air superiority will give them a lot of free damage until Rifleman or that Beastmaster gets trained up at level 2. We could be looking at a couple of guard towers being placed down as well as the armies are going to be, well, healing up and getting together here in just a moment. Wind Rider Farseer looking to, well, stick that javelin into the back of that Beastmaster, but the Beastmaster will be able to heal back up, and with 2 priests and, well, Footmen with Defend, they should be able to reflect back some of that damage with no real problem. Clarity Potion now being used as well. There's a beast, a bear, as well as the Farseer comes in, gets an attack onto the Archmage and onto the Beastmaster to disrupt that Clarity Potion. 140 gold gone like that. Farseer now just looking to retreat back out once more. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain already at level 2, getting to level 3, or should be getting to level 3 fairly quickly, does have some healing items, but doesn't have as much as I would have expected. All right, Beastmaster in that frontline spot, and now completely, well, caught wide out in the open here as the Farseer may be able to rack up some damage. No slow as Chaemiko being forced to retreat back. Sorceresses could get taken down. A little bit of reflected damage onto a Wind Rider there, as even the Forest Troll Warlord apparently wants to join in on the fight. All right, a nice stomp right there, getting 3 Footmen. Footmen now trying to get into a good position. Slow being cast down onto that Wind Rider as the Tauren Chieftain now gets up to level 3. No transition in the Spellbreaker. Oh, no, I take it back. Spellbreakers now being cranked out to try and transition away from those from those Footmen. Obviously, those not that powerful altogether. Ring of Protection +4 being dropped here. Archmage sitting at level 3. Beastmaster is nearly sitting at level 2. And with the Belt of Giant Strength and Boots of Speed, if he picks up that additional armor, that could actually be a problem as the Raiders now trying to escape away. He does have slow on them. The Footmen able to get in additional, well, following blows, but the Tauren Chieftain and Farseer are now here ready to, well, shut it all down. Beastmaster desperately wants to level 2 and will get there, getting in those Quill Beasts. Beastmaster now using that Clarity Potion as well. Should be able to summon up quite a few of those units here in just a moment. Archmage still needs to set up this expansion off to the north. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain is at level 3 now. Going to finish off, pick up a Potion of Greater Healing, exactly one of the items that he wants. And this 1,000 hit point Tauren Chieftain should be able to dive on in or perhaps retrain to Shockwave to try and get damage on that back line if the number of Spellbreakers reaches critical mass as well. All right, Archmage heading back off to the north, is gonna pick up, looks at the Ring of Protection and says, doesn't want it. Doesn't want a rare ring. All right, Beastmaster now coming in with the ring. 7 armor. Archmage trying to fight in the very, very far back. There is a stomp right there. Arcane Tower not yet done. Beastmaster trying to fight its way through. Priest getting taken down, and this is a big shot here as a bunch of low hit point raiders gonna try and retreat to the back. Another water elemental getting taken down, and Lin is just absolutely punishing Chaemiko for this expansion. No guard towers, arcane tower easily going to get picked off by the piercing damage of those raiders, and that is the problem there. Beastmaster continuing to fight his way through. Archmage in the back, using that distance, using that range attack, and now the Beastmaster wanting to just get to level 3 to perhaps get a higher level, summon out here onto the battlefield, as Militia getting in on the battle as well. Beastmaster now going to drop a Raging Bear, who does get occasional bashes onto those headhunters. Those bashes, while adding in a bit of stun, can cause a bit of problems, as well as this bear is just going after headhunter after headhunter. All right, Chaemiko with that level up, looking to get a little bit of additional damage here. Tauren Chieftain now joining in, and both sides are really just suffering large amounts of damage as the Kodo Beast now slowly digesting and chomping on a Spellbreaker. Archmage still okay. Tauren Chieftain still okay. All of the heroes are still alive and well. It is all the friends of the heroes that are taking a lot of damage. All right, I'm sorry, you are not a main character. You are just a plot device, and you are falling. Priest now trying to retreat back here. Tauren Chieftain gonna go ahead and try to dive on in. Water Elemental in position to attempt to take down that Wind Rider, but the Wind Rider with superior range, able to finish off that Priest and then get away. 38 supply compared to 47. Lin really punishing that expansion there and having a little bit of a supply lead. Having a little bit of a supply lead and now trying to retreat back home. Level 4, going up against level 4, level 3. Back down to the south side, we see one Wind Rider at the Blue Lagoon hanging out, keeping track of what's happening at the expansion, but really can't join in on the fight as an Arcane Tower is there ready to poke it apart. Meanwhile, Raging Bear going to try to dive on inside to take a look around, sees that, well, there could be a couple of easy kills. Kodo Beast, however, going to eat a bear. That is a big meal for that Kodo Beast. No, never really. Well, I guess if you can eat knights, eating a bear is pretty much the same thing as well. All right, we're looking at a Wind Rider now trying to retreat back. Raiders are coming back across here. Here we go. Grunt's going to dive on in, but in comes the Archmage and the Spellbreakers ready to engage too. All right, a little bit of damage. Slow getting cast down, trying to slow up a bunch of units. Not going to work out all too well as the Sorceress quickly gets taken down. Raiders are looking to dive on in here. No Thunderclap, obviously, as the Beastmaster seen at level 3, allowing the Raiders to pretty much dive into these positions and get in some easy damage on that back line. Not having the Mountain King to be able to zone out some of these units has really become a problem without having the access to Stormbolt or Thunderclap. Beastmaster now continuing to push across here, trying to add in some damage across all of these units. This Kodo Beast has room in its belly for a Spellbreaker and does exactly that. All right, the Kodo Beast is going to magically feel very hungry in a little bit of time as the Raging Bear getting in a cloak or getting in a stunning strike there. Scroll of Speed now trying to be used. And wow, that Scroll of Speed outworking the slow that was cast on that Kodo Beast, as the Kodo Beast will be able to get away. Back off to the north, Tauren Chieftain going to attempt to take down that Arcane Vault. Arcane Tower does do exactly that, as we are looking at the Raging Bear now attempting to take down the Farseer. However, Tauren Chieftain about to finish off the Beastmaster. Beastmaster down to 237 hit points, does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, and Chaemiko, holding on to the expansion here, still has a fighting chance, even though the hero levels of Lin are about to both hit level 5. A double level up to level 5 would be a dramatic power increase, or a spike in overall power of the Orc army. Is he going to use this opportunity to clear out some orange creep camps, get a little bit of experience, and then heal up and make his way out? That is the question. However, the downside is there is a Spellbreaker in the belly of that Kodo. So if Lin tried to do a little bit of creeping, he would actually reveal his position to his opponent. And, well, open himself up for a creepjack. Chaemiko does have the supply advantage overall. His army is a significantly larger, even though lumber is actually a bit on the low side right now, or maybe is going to be a bit on the low side here as we're looking at an engagement. Farseer gets up to level 5. Tauren Chieftain still sitting at level 4. There's that level 5 there. Purge onto that bear there as the Tauren Chieftain now goes in with Shockwave, ripping up that back line as I mentioned earlier. All right, more damage adding on through Beastmaster, trying to, head its way back here. Tauren Chieftain wants to avoid as much damage from those Spellbreakers as possible. There's another Shockwave ripping through, followed by Chain Lightning. Chain Wave working its magic, taking down 4 casters in the back. Tauren Chieftain still has plenty of mana ready to go. Are we going to see Chain Lightning? Are we going to see damage? Yes, we do. And there goes the Archmage at level 4. All right, Chain Wave, classic WarCraft 3 strategies coming back across here. Chain Lightning and Shockwave, against that back line that doesn't have that many hit points, really punishing that caster style of play. 45 over 66 supplied now as the level 5, nearly level 6 Tauren Chieftain and Farseer making short work of some of these summons as well. However, there are a decent number of Spellbreakers out here onto the battlefield. Are we going to go into a surround? We are. Kotobeast could try and eat that bear and then break the surround here. Not really doing that at all, as the Kotobeast does get a scroll of healing. Beastmaster still trying to engage here. Farseer, not having many targets to go after, and without a stun, the Tauren Chieftain is just able to get into dangerous positions and back out. Sometimes, I guess it's important to note in the human versus orc matchup, sometimes getting a stun onto the Tauren Chieftain and the Farseer, even though they are at full hit points, is worth it, as then you're able to get 2 or 3 hits with your Spellbreakers to just remove some of that precious mana. Now, instead, we're looking at the Farseer engaging with quite a bit of damage here. We're going to see a Chain Lightning, taking down 2 of those summons there, but costing a Shaman. And this Kotobeast may end up being lost as well. Are we going to see a Scroll of Speed? No, we are not. There in comes a bear. This is the level 4 bear. It is not the raging, blinking bear that can get in front. Meanwhile, off to the north here, Tauren Chieftain looking to finish off more of those peasants and perhaps get to level 6. Level 6 on that Tauren Chieftain, as we all know, is just another major damage spike, as that Tauren Chieftain with reincarnation, reincarnation ends up being nearly impossible to take down. All right, couple of peasants about to fall here. Spellbreaker trying to catch that one. Shaman will end up doing that. This expansion looks like it is about to fall here. There goes a Shockwave ripping on through. Purge on to that Raging Bear. Raging Bear taking a little bit of damage. Are we going to see a couple of pickups here? Tauren Chieftain, Shockwave, anything here as the Archmage joins in on the battle as well. Tauren Chieftain, Goblin Zeppelin, inside the belly here, this Raging Bear isn't going to get any more hits off here. Grunt is going to get taken down, and a Raider as well. All right, lasting damage done there. Level 4. It looks as though the heroes are out of the Goblin Zeppelin. They will be able to move and get away quickly. All right. Shamans back at home. Farseer clarity, or Farseer invulnerability potion, trying to figure out how to deal with so many Spellbreakers here. Chain Lightning is going to bounce across all of those low hit point casters in the back. Shockwave will hit those low hit point casters in the back, or will be aimed in that general direction. And that is the overall plan. Take down the supporting cast, and maybe the heroes and the Spellbreakers are not going to be able to carry the win the rest of the way. All right, army sizes are about the same. In comes a Raging Bear. Are we going to see a couple of purges? Yes, we are. There is a couple of purges as the Tauren Chieftain going to finish it off here. A magic damage coming across there as the Tauren Chieftain gets that much closer. Tauren Chieftain now going to try to dive in. There's a couple of ensnares. There's a Chain Lightning across that back line, coupled with a Shockwave. There's Scroll of Healing used to try and counteract, as the Tauren Chieftain has a follow-up plan to take down more and more of those casters. Now getting up to level 6 on that Tauren Chieftain. Level 6 Tauren Chieftain, very, very dangerous to try and take down. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used there. Water Elemental is getting finished off, but how do you deal with all of these spell breakers? That is the question. As well, without any Tauren, without any Tauren, not much you can do. All right, Scroll of Town Portal going to try and retreat back out here. A little bit of damage trailing away as we are only at Stronghold, and, well, no more gold. Lyn out of gold on, and Chaemiko also out of gold. What you see is what you get. And in these situations, well, normally human comes out on top. They're able to continually, well, heal up, and also the Brilliance Aura on the Archmage, providing additional mana for all of the casters. That is a very big deal as well. Archmage looking to get to level 5 here. Sorceress joining back in on the battlefield, needs to get in a bit of healing. Are we going to see any Priest? And are Priest an asset or a liability at this point with level 3 Shockwave and level 3 Chain Lightning? All right, is that a Spirit Bear? Yes, that is a Spirit Bear. Spirit Bears are not normally invisible, but, well, this particular breed is. So an invisible Spirit Bear getting in some damage and now blinking away to try and check for any possible expansion. Invincible blinking stashing bear. Yeah. All right. Coming back down to the south side here, we are, well, frozen in economy. Both sides not doing any real bit of mining. That Spirit Wolf scouts out absolutely nothing, as well as the armies are looking to engage. 12 workers versus 10 army size, 38 compared to 28. Human has the larger army, but Lyn and Orc has, well, has the hero level advantage. What is going to translate into, as we are going to be going into an engagement here. All right, Tauren Chieftain going to try and engage. Farseer looking to retreat back. Are we going to see any shockwaves? There you go. That entire army of spellbreakers in that frontline spot, really just be able to avoid so much damage. However, the Spirit Bear able to rage in the back there. There's a Chain Lightning bouncing around. Water Elementals getting shut down here. Kodo Beast could get taken down as well, as a couple more bits of damage to take down one Water Elemental, and another could be the problem. The summons are going to be a problem here, as the Tauren Chieftain still trying to catch up to that Archmage. Archmage down to a 425 hit points. Another Chain Lightning could find a target or two and actually take down the Water Elemental, giving more experience, perhaps trying to get to level 7. Khadgar's Gem of Health, that Tauren Chieftain up to 1,500 hit points. Very nearly impossible to take down, especially with a Cloak of Shadows as well. Even if you do get a proper surround on that Tauren Chieftain, the Tauren Chieftain will just use that Cloak of Shadows and to stay hidden for as long as he possibly can before using Potions of Invulnerability and all of those other items to fight back. All right, however, selling that Khadgar's Gem of Health now down to 1,200 hit points, as the Tauren Chieftain retreats back away once more. Meanwhile, invisible summons have been constantly putting pressure inside of the base here, as we are looking at raiders and shamans trying to get trained up. We are looking at a couple of peons getting added in as well. Clarity potions being used. And are we going to be going into an engagement? That is the question. All right, armies working together. Tauren Chieftain now moving out with these peons. Not quite sure what they're expecting to do. There is no spirit link. So moving out with peons where there's no real way to recover gold. This is a bit of a head-scratching moment for me. Orc has a Zeppelin somewhere as well. All right. Okay, so keeping track of the mini-map, don't see any. Well, one peon is doing long-distance mining. Purge onto Dire Quill Beast. Peons getting actually separated from the rest of the group, and this is going to be free experience for Chaemiko right here, getting that much closer to level 6. Meanwhile, back down to the south side here, a Priest getting taken down. Multiple peons are just getting absolutely eaten up. 31 supply now compared to 44. Chaemiko, may be able to do more long-distance mining and actually rebuild a bit of his army. 30 supply compared to 44 now. Even though, Chaemiko is lower on hero level, he may be able to still make something happen. He does need to finish off these shaman, though. These shaman have been getting in so many purges onto the Spirit Bears and Water Elementals that it has become a major problem. Shockwave, Shockwave, Ensnare, putting pressure onto the Beastmaster. Beastmaster may be forced to use a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability if he is not careful to try and stay alive. There's a little bit more damage. Shockwave pushing back all around through. Chain Lightning bouncing around as well as the Tauren Chieftain tries to rack up a bit more damage on some of these units. All right, Water Elementals getting taken down. Farseer has to be careful, and no Stormbolt onto the Farseers. Really, the story here, getting up to level 3 or tier 3 just for a Mountain King may actually be worth it, as the Tauren Chieftain still going after target, trying to take down these heroes. There's a purge right there. Shaman could get taken down by that Water Elemental. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used there, as the Beastmaster, well, Farseer now coming back around, perhaps going to try and rack up a little bit of Chain Lightning as well. There's a Chain Lightning going across too. There's a Shockwave, 2 very low hit point heroes, and now the Archmage could get taken down to 44 hit points, and it looks like Chaemiko's Archmage, one more shot would do it. Just trying to line up a Shockwave there. There's a Scroll of Speed, and well, gets denied. Purge onto the Beastmaster. Beastmaster gets to level 6. Farseer falls at level 6, and Tauren Chieftain gets to level 7. All right, action all across the board. Tauren Chieftain sitting now by himself at level 7, and will need to find a way to make something happen. Farseer did summon some Spirit Wolves as a dying effort, as the units now look to retreat back. One peon carrying every bag of gold for those victories, as the peasants are now getting cleaned up here, trying to hide away from all of these Spirit Wolves. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 7, 28 minutes into this game. Hero levels do not matter if your heroes are dead, as the Shaman now looking to retreat back, getting a little bit of a boost because of that faster movement speed with Endurance Aura. All right, trying to get away, not going to be able to do that. There goes another one there, as all of the heroes are taken out across the board. Shockwave now ripping on through again, finding a couple of easy targets, as the Spellbreakers control magic onto those Spirit Wolves to take them down. Tauren Chieftain wants to, finish things off here, as constantly getting body blocked. Are we getting a resurrection? No, we are not. Tauren Chieftain looking to finish off a couple of the Spellbreakers. The Tauren Chieftain now, could look to try to take down some of those buildings. Meanwhile, Spellbreakers are going after the Altar of Storms. Are there any peons anywhere? No. This army of Spellbreakers may be able to just take down all of the buildings. Tauren Chieftain going to be forced to try and retreat all the way back. The Spirit Wolves will get finished up here in just a moment, as the Tauren Chieftain is right here, immediate and greeted by a couple of Spellbreakers again. Tauren Chieftain finding the right opportunity, and perhaps going to try to line up a couple of kills against these peasants again. Meanwhile, the Spellbreakers are going to town, finishing off the Shamans here, and the army of Chaemiko looking to take down all of these buildings. Peon going from Orc Burrow to Orc Burrow, shutting things down, as well as the Tauren Chieftain, only with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability and Gauntlets of Ogre Strength, doesn't have that many items to try and sell. Lin down to only the Tauren Chieftain here, and one peon off over here. Meanwhile, human Chaemiko down to, a whole bunch of Spellbreakers and peasants who are trying to do long-distance mining to get a bit of gold and then resurrect a hero. That is where we are at, folks, and, it still has no sign of ending. The peons or the peasants, if they're able to resurrect the Beastmaster with Thunder Lizards, or the Raging Lizards, may be able to actually deal quite a bit of damage to all of these buildings in a base race scenario. Tauren Chieftain has he bought a Talisman of Evasion. What? I do not remember that Talisman of Evasion early. He picked up a Talisman of Evasion after clearing out some creeps. All right, that makes a lot more sense. Tauren Chieftain pretty much out of mana, though, trying to finish off this one Spellbreaker. Every hero or every unit you're able to take down is a very big deal. No Arcanes, no Priest to try and heal back up either. And we are now back up to 285 gold with, not enough gold to resurrect. Tauren Chieftain, 140 hit points, trying to finish a couple of these peasants off again, getting in a little bit of superficial damage. Meanwhile, Spellbreaker doing a little bit of scouting down to the south side here. We'll see that there is, well, still an Ogre Mauler right there. All right, one peasant taken down, another peasant gonna fall as well. Tauren Chieftain getting a little bit more experience on the board, but that is about it. All right, 2 workers out here. Okay, they are currently just collecting lumber. Not quite sure why you trade up peons to collect lumber when, well, you need more. You just really need more gold. The Tauren Chieftain looking to fight again. There's a little bit more damage again onto that Tauren Chieftain as he's looking to retreat back once more. All right, peasants making their way back around. A Tauren Chieftain going up against the Spellbreakers. Tauren Chieftain down to 64 hit points. That regeneration quite high. Looking at get a little bit more damage once that Tauren Chieftain is out of mana. However, the Spellbreakers don't really do that much damage to him. He is down to 30 hit points and may try to fall on his giant battle axe just to get resurrected. All right. Going after these units there. There is that resurrection now. He should be coming back in. There it goes. And now going to be backing away. There's a full hit point heal looking to retreat. Meanwhile, Spellbreakers are going after this Ogre Warrior creep camp, clearing things up. And this is going to give a shorter walk to all of the peasants of Chaemiko, allowing them to perhaps resurrect their resurrect at the altar of kings faster. Tauren Chieftain, however, back and ready for action, back up to full hit points and a decent amount of mana, should be able to take down one of those peasants again, and now trying to go after another peasant, takes him down, but may end up getting surrounded if he's not careful. All right, Spellbreaker looking to retreat back. Spellbreaker is having a very difficult time trying to get a surround on a Tauren Chieftain. As you know, Spellbreakers have a bit of a range in their attack, and because of that additional bit of range, well, hard to get a full surround on that Tauren Chieftain. All right, taking down another peasant there. We are looking at 301 gold. Spellbreakers trying to make their way back off to the north here, trying to finish off some of these buildings again. And this game is just turning into a micro battle. There's a shockwave trying to rip on through. Arcane Tower going to get in a little bit of feedback damage there as the Tauren Chieftain tries to win this base race scenario. All right, Spellbreakers going after this Ogre Magi. Spellbreaker may actually get taken down. You cannot afford to lose any of those units any longer. Tauren Chieftain going after these buildings now, taking down one Arcane Vault and going after the Altar of Kings. If Altar of Kings gets taken down, well, that is going to be a completely different story, as you need a significant amount more gold to try and resurrect. All right, with that said, Spellbreakers are looking to retreat back, and are we going to be going into a base race scenario? 14 gold, 14 gold is not going to be enough to build anything, as the Spellbreakers are heading off to the Goblin Merchant Shop. Well, there was a backpack. All right, so, wow. That I did not think about that. All right, so what is happening? The Spellbreakers are purposely creeping without a hero. They are picking up items and then with the backpack upgrade selling them. All right, trying to go after the Ogre Magi here. Is it gonna be worth it here? Ogre Magi gonna get taken down. It gets taken down. Ring of Protection +4. They're trying to retreat away, and they're gonna try to sell that item again. Meanwhile, the Tauren Chieftain is in a mad race to try and take down all of these buildings as well. All right, trying to take down multiple buildings. A little bit of mana would go a long way. That Arcane Tower really preventing much of that damage. And now going after some of those other units as well. Null Overseer does deal significant damage to these Spellbreakers. You can take a look at that. That is about 20 or 30 damage per attack, and now needs to retreat back here, trying to get every little bit of gold to try and win out this battle here, as this Null Overseer is still raging in, trying to take down these buildings, or take down these Spellbreakers. Units are trying to retreat back. Null Overseer down to 247 hit points, and not enough hit points between all of these Spellbreakers to try and stay alive. Tauren Chieftain coming back across here, looking to finish off all of the farms, as we're going to be looking at a little bit of damage. Null Overseer down to 149 hit points. We'll talk about round robbing all of that damage. There goes one Spellbreaker. There goes another Spellbreaker. There goes another Spellbreaker. And the Null Overseer may have won the game right there by just one hitting and taking down that many Spellbreakers. All right. New Spellbreaker backlining up. Oh, that's painful. Okay, trying to get that shot off there. Null Overseer down to 37 hit points, down to 25. This guy has 50 hit points. Oh my gosh. Turning back around. Oh, gonna go back, trying to chase after. All right, Spellbreaker going. One priest would have made all the difference. 22 hit points. Needs to get 2 more shots off. Can the Spellbreaker do it? Oh, he's buying time. He's buying time. All right, go back. Oh my gosh, this is Hogger and what? Elwyn Forest. One shot there, down to 19 hit points. It's meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain there is the Spellbreak. Oh, one more, or no, needs another shot. Is he going to be able to do it? Is he going to be able to do it? Gets the damage. Oh, no, the Null. The Null. That Null is actually scary. All right, coming back through. Null Overseer down to 18. One more shot. One more shot should kill it. There it goes. Picks up the item. Claws of attack +5. Is it enough gold? That is now the question. Is it enough gold to make a difference here? All right. Tauren Chieftain attempting to take down the keep. Pretty much, Lyn is not sure what is going on in this game. Peons doing long distance mining as well. 700 resurrect at the tavern. And which hero are you going to try and get? Beastmaster is now alive and out on the battlefield. Arcane Vault, well, enough gold there. No training anywhere else. What is the Beastmaster going to do? Beastmaster has sold some, or picks up a potion of invulnerability, and now going to try and fight against the Tauren Chieftain without any additional summons. All right, here we are. Beastmaster out onto the battlefield. Tauren Chieftain at full hit points. Both sides could, well, are they going to actually engage against each other? Beastmaster saying, chase me, chase me. Tauren Chieftain's like, well, this is all the buildings you have, but the Beastmaster could actually deal quite a bit of damage to the opposing buildings here if they are not careful. This is a 1v1 fight, but going up against a 1300 hit point Tauren Chieftain with reincarnation just seems like a very, very poor idea. Somehow, oh, he did not go for the Thunder Lizard ultimate ability. He has Bears and Quill Beasts as his abilities, so he cannot win in a base race. There is a shockwave right there, a little bit of damage. Beastmaster trying to engage again. I can't imagine how Lyn can lose this game short of a crazy, crazy scenario unfolding here. All of the buildings, all of the farms are now gone as the Tauren Chieftain, well, a raging spirit, okay, a spirit bear getting in a bash. Is he going to blink and try and bash down that bear? That's a question. As the spirit bear, what's going to happen? A little bit of mana regeneration, perhaps. Spellbreaker still wandering around. There is still 2 peons inside the burrow, or 2 peons inside the burrow here, able to fight back against that Spellbreaker, as this Spirit Bear should really just be trying to blink and getting attacks onto that Tauren Chieftain, just trying to get some basic attacks there, as the Tauren Chieftain does have a very fast movement speed, and now the, well, Beastmaster trying to make sure that the Tauren Chieftain doesn't get damage on that Spellbreaker. All right. Still, this is an definite uphill battle, as the Tauren Chieftain, well, there's the blink, there's the attack, but no stun, as the Tauren Chieftain with that very, very fast movement speed, trying to constantly get in front. Are we going to see another blink here in just a moment? Spellbreaker about to get taken down. He gets charged over by that Tauren Chieftain, and now, well, only has to deal with 1 hero left. Spirit Bear getting in that bash attack there, trying to rack up a little bit more damage. He finally gets taken down due to that timed life. Beastmaster will need a little bit more time to summon up another bear. What items did he sell this time around? Did he sell? He sold his boots of speed and that circlet of nobility, and now gonna go ahead and retrain. All right, he does go for Thunder Lizards, and he did retrain, but does he have enough mana? This is the question, and how much damage are really available onto these buildings? All right, Bestiary trying to take this down, trying to take down every building that he can. This is a base race scenario, but the Tauren Chieftain does have mana, does have Shockwave, and these buildings are close together. Coming back through, Bestiary down to 800 hit points, one attack at a time. Tauren Chieftain about to take down the Arcane Sanctum and now go after these last remaining buildings here. Meanwhile, in comes the Thunder Lizards. Is it going to be enough? Oh, the position on the Thunder Lizards not quite to get those fringe cases, trying to take down these buildings. And there is a lot of buildings to take down, though. You can see all of these orc burrows are suffering quite a bit of damage. And here we are. There goes one. There goes the other. And this is now really a base race scenario here. All right, there goes more buildings. Is the Thunder Lizards really going to actually take down all of these precious buildings? And it looks like it here. There goes another Spirit Lodge, the Stronghold, about to get taken down. And now that has come to an end. All right, a couple of hit points left. Needs to take down the peons as well. Meanwhile, the Tauren Chieftain is attempting to take down the Lumber Mill. It's going to be down to 88 hit points, and it's just a sheer amount of hit points left on these buildings. Quill Beast could try and get summoned out here in just a moment to add a little bit of additional damage, but there is still, 1,400 hit points between these two buildings, and the Tauren Chieftain doesn't have enough mana. All right, summoning a Quill Beast is going to be important here to try or is he going to try to go for a bear? That's the problem here. He needs another 50 mana for bear in order to do that. Meanwhile, the Arcane Sanctum is down to 161. This is a true base race scenario, trying to go after the barracks now, allowing the mana to slowly regenerate to try and take down and win with one Shockwave. That's why the Tauren Chieftain was stutter stepping across to the other side. Both sides bears. There's a bear now out here on the battlefield trying to take down this Stronghold. The bear is dealing a massive amount of damage, 38 to 40 per attack. And meanwhile, the Tauren Chieftain is on the other side here waiting to try and take down this barracks. This little bit of extra damage coming across from the bear actually represents a large amount of damage, trying to take down. Here we're at 200 hit points, 400 hit points, about 1,600 hit points here, but with more damage per second. Coming across the other side, Shockwave finds its target. Barracks down to 303, and that is going to be the game. Trying to retrain to get to Thunder Lizards would have been the right play if he did it earlier and would have had enough time. Too late for human. Good game here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys check out more of my videos.